is digital rights management. Do people in the digital space have rights? If yes, do we need to manage them? How can you manage your rights in the first place? So many questions today. So many questions. Welcome to Explain Like I'm 10, where we ask many questions with some nice answers, which are explained to us like we are 10 years old. Joining me today to answer these many questions is Eugene Choi. Hello, Eugene.
Hello.
You're in Singapore, right, Eugene? If I'm not wrong.
Actually, I'm in Seoul, South Korea.
Oh, you're in Seoul. So he is in South Korea, Seoul, the culture capital of the world currently, I guess. Uh, and he is going to tell us all about digital rights and management. So Eugene is the CEO and co-founder of this firm called Collab Asia. It is a digital media company, an influencer network management firm with offices in Seoul, Tokyo, Jakarta, Hong Kong, Manila, and Singapore. And our union leader of spectators today is Govind Menon. Hello, Govind.
Hello.
So, Govind, so for the people who don't know Govind, Govind is a creator, he's a writer, and he's a famous person on Instagram. So, Govind, some sources told me that you have been trying to figure out this whole influencer marketing and management business.
I haven't tried to figure. I mean, yeah, I have been for a while. That's because I started off doing comedy, stand-up comedy, and that took a long time, and it didn't work. So I was like, okay, maybe, maybe I can just do it online. And
Yeah.
during the
So what
pandemic, that worked better.
So what I thought was that we can just have your session live, right? So I have an expert with me, who is Eugene. He's going to tell you about all about your digital management rights and figure out things for us. So thank you, Eugene, for doing this.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, Eugene, tell us a little bit about what you do.
Okay. Do I tell you as if you're 10 or do I tell you nor-
Whenever you go above the age of 10, we'll stop you.
Okay, great.
And Govind will have a questioning look on his face, so you can look at
Okay.
that.
So Collab Asia, we are an official partner of YouTube's. And what we are able to do with that partnership with YouTube is manage YouTube channels and also manage content assets like videos and songs. And we basically help our creators and our clients make as much money on YouTube and other platforms.
Which is exactly what an influencer needs, money,
Nice,
right
nice.
now. Yeah.
Sounds.
Yeah, actually, what we kind of say is we want to help creators make as much money as they can so that way they can quit their day job or drop out of school and then pursue creating and pursue being an influencer full time.
This is interesting because so Govind, you can also jump in here because I want to
Yeah.
also understand the Indian landscape of this as well, right? So influencer marketing is a term that we use in India right now, and there
Mm.
are all these management firms which are essentially like taking people like Govind, making them clients, and giving them business essentially, right, Govind, how does that work?
No, so there are a bunch of them. I'm not signed to one of the. So there are a bunch of them who only do influencer marketing. That's all they do. They get brands for you to work on, and that's their whole job. I mean, mine also takes care of my stand up and my writing and other
Yeah.
things. But these ones, they essentially work for Instagram and now YouTube too with YouTube Shorts. I
Hmm.
think all of these people just work on short form content. They just work on
Hmm.
short form content, most of them,
Right.
and getting brands on them. That's it. That's all they.
Right.
Am I glitching? Yeah,
So it's
that's all.
basically they're like acting like a bridge between the creator and the brand, essentially, right? Is that how it works?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there needs to be no bridge, to be honest, that creator can
There needs to be
get in
no
touch with
bridge. Yeah.
brands. But these people, they
But
come in the but yeah.
Yeah, but Eugene, does that work out in Korea as well? Is that how it works in Korea as well?
Yeah, that's how it works everywhere. So we also do that. We also work
Hmm.
directly with brands and their agencies and connect them to our creators to do sponsorships, whether it's like product placement, like, oh, check out this Logitech, whatever, um,
Hmm.
those type of deals. And that's definitely influencer marketing. And then the
Hmm.
other side, the other way we help creators make money is via mostly YouTube. I mean, we
Hmm.
also, some of the other platforms like Spotify also have a program where they do revenue share. But YouTube still right now is probably the best platform still for monetizing content at scale.
Yeah.
So in the case of you, Govind, um, you know, we would be, connecting you with brand sponsorships to do sponsored videos and sponsored messages, but then also we would help you make money on, let's say, YouTube, where if we help you maintain your channel and grow your channel and maximize the amount of views, and then you actually get paid from YouTube based on how many views you get.
Oh
Right.
yeah, yeah. That's a good thing about YouTube. I don't think no one else has it done that way. No, not Instagram. No other app, really pays you. I think Instagram tried to come up with something like that, but I don't
Hmm.
think they
Hmm.
had
The earnings
it
thing that is
done.
showing up on my
Something.
thing also, like all the time, like sign up to earnings, and it's like it's some ridiculous 1 million views and you get some $200 or something for it. uh
That's
and But
actually not
YouTube
bad.
is way more lucrative that way.
Yeah.
That's not bad. A million views and $200 for that.
Yeah, it's something like
Really?
that. I was reading it again. Like, might be different for different people. I don't know if it shows different things for different. Eugene, do you know about this? Like, what is the
Is it?
situation there?
Is it? Are the earnings different for different countries? Like, is it
Yeah.
lesser in India? I've
Yeah,
just heard
yeah, it
heard
is.
that a bunch. It
So
Yeah.
the
is.
earnings is directly tied to the ad rates. So
Hmm.
oftentimes it's widely dependent on a CPM, cost per thousand impressions. So what you just described, Meghnad, for 1 million views for $200 equates to a 20-cent CPM.
Hmm.
Um, and that I think is pretty much in line, I would believe, with what we're seeing in places like Southeast Asia and India and stuff like that. Whereas in America, for 1 million views, you might actually get anywhere between $1,000 to $3,000, right?
Oh
Uh,
wow.
yeah,
Wow. Okay.
but
Oh,
then
that's a giant difference. $200 here and 3,000 till $3,000 there.
yeah, Japan is also pretty high. Korea is like, I don't know, like 25-30% maybe lower than Japan. It all varies,
Okay.
right? So
Hmm. Hmm.
but the other way of looking at it though is you will probably end up getting, it's easier to get 1 million views in India than it is to get 1 million views in, let's say, Korea, right? Because Korea, the population is 51 million, and India, the population is
1.4 billion.
1 point.
1.
Yeah.
1.6 billion, but then also you might end up getting some views out of Pakistan and things like that, right? So the
Hmm. Hmm.
the potential is much higher. So and if your content is in English, there's obviously a lot of countries in the world that speak English. So um, even though you make the video out of India, if it is watched in America, you are going to get American level of earnings, not India.
Hmm.
So it's dependent on where the
Oh,
viewers are located. Because when the viewers watch your video, an ad pops up. And
Yeah.
that ad is what YouTube sells. And
Hmm.
then they take 45%, and then the remaining 55% gets shared with you. And
Yeah.
then YouTube will be, when they sell those ads in America, they're selling it at, I don't know, like a $20 CPM. And then maybe in a place like India, it's, you know, um, I don't know, $8, whatever
Hmm.
the numbers are, right?
Hmm. I just want to get into that a little bit because so Govind, you have a YouTube channel as well, right?
I do, but that's been inactive for a while. So I put up a stand-up video years back, and
Hmm.
then after that I put another one, but then I didn't for a while, and then I tried getting back. I was just like, "Hey guys, I'm back," and no one. I got no views. They were all gone. All my subscribers were just gone. 18,000 of them. No one was there. I got. I think I put up one YouTube Shorts video, and then I got 91 views in a week, and I was like, "You guys are gone.
Oh,
There's no one left.
yeah,
There's no
yeah.
one left here." But
But so
I
you're
do have
not
the
using your
stamina.
Instagram Reels on YouTube as shorts essentially, because your
I
Instagram Reels
started.
are way popular.
I started to do that, but it's not been working well. Now I think it takes time. Obviously, it'll take time
Hmm.
on YouTube
Hmm.
Shorts. But now that YouTube Shorts is paying, I fuck Instagram. I'm not gonna stay on Instagram. That's too
Yeah.
much work. YouTube Shorts is just seems better, and YouTube Shorts is blowing up. I was just checking out. By the way,
Hmm.
what's great is last night, I was watching a video about YouTube Shorts. Do you know this podcast called Colin and Samir? I think they call Colin
Yeah,
Samir,
yeah,
but
yeah. Colin and Samir, yeah.
yeah, they had some YouTube people on. So this is great. The next day I'm on one about
Yeah.
YouTube.
Eugene, do you want to talk a little bit about shorts versus, like just videos on YouTube? Like, how is
Hmm.
that happening? Because it's changing very fast. I can also see it. Like, and
Yeah.
advising. So all the experts, quote unquote, of YouTube, their advice changes like on a weekly basis. So it becomes very confusing for me. So
Yeah,
please tell
actually,
us.
Govind, I was going to tell you, don't be discouraged. Keep at it. And now is actually a really good time because, as you pointed out, starting February 1st, YouTube is also doing a revenue share on YouTube
Hmm.
Shorts videos, right? So it's good timing. And then also, just to back up a little bit, the reason why YouTube is really pushing shorts is largely in response to TikTok, right? So TikTok
Hmm.
became hugely popular all over the world a couple years ago, and the format is different from, I guess, long form videos on YouTube because it's a vertical video, right, as opposed to horizontal, and then typically the length of the video is short, right? It's less than a minute. So I think it's a sign of just different people's consumption habits have changed, right?
Yeah.
So YouTube basically saw that trend, as did Facebook and as did Instagram, which is why they have Facebook and Instagram Reels, and those are also vertical video. Those are
Hmm.
typically less than a minute in length. And so, we call that the platform wars, right? So these are all the major social media platforms, basically all fighting with each other. And the latest battle is in short form video. A couple years ago, if you recall, everyone was doing live. Everyone was doing live streaming.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
And so, YouTube, because they already have a built-in monetization system, February 1st, they launched short monetization for YouTube Shorts. And so, yeah, I think right now is a great time because anytime YouTube has a new product, they're always trying to push people to use it, right? That's what their kind of algorithm is for. And we saw something similar a couple years ago when they were really pushing their live streaming product. So,
Hmm.
yeah, the latest, I guess, the latest thing is short form video, and I think short form video is uh, it's easier to create content, right? You just
Hmm.
need your cell phone. Whereas if you wanted to create a 10-minute video on YouTube, you probably need like a lighting setup, you need to edit, you need to do all these things. Um, but with short form video, whether it's on Shorts or TikTok or Reels or whatever, all you really need is your cell phone. So it's becoming
Yeah.
easier to create content. And
Eugene, it's funny that you mentioned this because so Govind and me, so we were hanging out like a few months ago, and
Mhm,
so I am a Twitter user, right? So
mhm,
I used to be a journalist, and that's where I hang on the internet, where I mean I get trolled a lot, but at the same time I'm also like putting out things that get me trolled a lot. So
yep,
Twitter, that toxic waste pool that it is.
yep,
I looked at Instagram and it's like all like green grass, everybody's happy. So I didn't understand it. I was like, I don't understand how to make reels, and I don't understand how to do this. When you mentioned that how easy it is, so Govind was there, and I asked him, "Oh, boss, I don't know how to make reels. How do you do it?" So he's like, "Oh, it's nothing. You take a phone, you do this, you say something, you put your phone here, and you say something, and that's a dialogue, and you put it out. It literally takes like 30 seconds to do it." I started doing it, and it's actually quite easy. So
Yep.
Govind is actually my inspiration for putting out like reels and reels. So
That's the only reason I started doing this. So before this, I was like, okay, I need to make long form content for YouTube, and I tried a bunch way back when I was 15 and
yeah,
16. But then reels or whatever short form takes you like half an hour if you know what you're
mm,
doing. I mean, if you know what the idea is, takes you half an hour from start to finish, and then you can just go about your day. That's
yeah,
really great that you don't need to be fixated on that one video for like 2, 3, 4, 5 days with the
yeah.
editing. And but is YouTube like, is the long form videos, are they going to take a hit because of this, or with
No, I
shorts?
think what
I just
what they're
don't know
trying to do
how.
is, yeah, they're trying to bridge that gap and make both coexist. I mean, what we've seen actually up until recently, I think to a certain degree, maybe long form took a hit because YouTube was really pushing shorts. I mean, I'm sure you guys noticed
Mm.
that when you go into the app, it's just like all these shorts are coming up, and it's not even videos
Yeah.
I subscribe to,
Yeah.
right?
Mm.
And so, naturally, I ended up watching more shorts and less long form videos. And, you know, up until February 1st, us and our creators would only get paid on views from long form video, and we would not get paid on videos coming from shorts. So that did impact viewership and it did impact earnings. But now it's supposed to be better now that YouTube is also placing ads and sharing revenue on shorts.
Yeah. The other thing that we are also doing, Govind, now we are also realizing this because obviously all of our podcast content is super long,
Mhm.
like one
Mm.
hour, 1.5 hour long videos. Sure, it gives a lot of ad slots in the middle so that you can put more ads in because it's long form. But now what we are realizing is that now we just need to use this content to essentially cut out shorts, like 1 minute videos of, say, me saying something, Eugene saying something, then you reacting to it, and that 1 minute video will go up. So nobody might watch the full video, but at the same time, because shorts gives us earnings now, maybe this is just us doing like 60-minute 60-second videos, like 3 4 60-second videos. It doesn't matter anymore. But I think that's the way YouTube is also working. But
Yep.
also, Eugene, tell me something. You said that you help creators earn money from YouTube, right? But
Yep.
so I was looking up your firm, etc., and you are specialist in digital rights management. Now,
Yep.
I did not know this existed before actually I started. Like I was researching what you do. Um, can you please tell us a little about that? What is digital rights management exactly, and why is it important for someone like Govind?
Sure, sure. So we work with a lot of content creators that have videos that go viral, right? And when it
Yeah.
goes viral, oftentimes people will then re-upload it all over. They will do a reaction to it. They will do a parody of it, etc. Right? So in the case of, let's say, Govind has a funny video and it goes viral and it's all over YouTube, right? Well, that video is your intellectual property. You made that video,
Mm.
and you own the rights to it, right? Um, you don't necessarily need to register it anywhere or anything. In essence, what we would help you do is kind of register it on YouTube, and then we would then copyright claim instances of other people kind of taking your video and re-uploading it. And so when we copyright
Ah.
claim it, if someone else uploads it, instead of them taking the money, we would then
Um,
get it and then give it to you, give the money to you, route it to you.
Oh, you are the people who have taken down some
all
of
the
my live
copyright claims.
streams. All the copyright claims. A funny thing, Govind, I was live streaming the Republic Day parade, okay?
Okay.
Like I was live streaming it, I was reacting to it, etc. Like it went on for like a good 2 hours. People are chilling, we are doing something. And then, so Eugene, just to give you a context here, so we have this parade every year in the capital, which
Sure.
is like a show of the army and culture and everything, as countries do, on the Republic Day. So I was watching this on government. I was streaming a government channel, which is free for everyone. Now I'm
Mhm.
doing this. There is one portion in the parade where these very colorful trucks come in with, like, it's showing off each state and its culture, and there's
Mhm.
some music playing in the background, right, which is popular in the yeah, in the state. So while I was streaming this,
Mhm.
someone put a copyright claim on me. Later I found out it was Doordarshan, and Doordarshan is our national government channel,
Mhm.
because some truck that was passing by was playing music in the background which was copyrighted,
Yep.
and my
Yep.
stream went off.
Yep.
It
So
was the most bizarre experience I've ever had. But please, Eugene, outrage with me or tell me why it was wrong of me to do that.
yeah, no, no. So and by the way, it wasn't us that put
Yeah.
down your stream. Somebody else did. But I'm
Yeah,
just curious
someone else
where.
did it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Where was that stream? What was it on YouTube? Was it on
On
Twitch?
YouTube, yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
I stream on YouTube, yeah.
Got it, got it. So, actually, in that instance, the rights holder of that song, they actually have a couple of options. Number one, they could claim it, which would allow you to use it and keep it up, but then they would get any of the revenue that your video
Oh,
generates. Or they
All
could
of
do it.
it
I'm
from the
sorry?
entire video. So all the revenue that I generate from the video will go to them then.
So streaming is a little bit different, but if it was just a
Okay.
regular standalone video, yes. If you did a
Okay.
1-hour video and for 20 seconds a song showed up, the rights holder of that song could claim it and they would get 100% of the revenue.
Oh
Um,
wow. Okay.
yeah,
wow.
Okay. That's
and
brutal. Okay, go on.
yeah, and
That's a
then
little too rude.
Yeah.
yeah, because YouTube doesn't they don't, do it proportionate to the amount of time being
Hmm.
used. They do it
Hmm.
based on the number of, let's say, copyright claims. So if you had 2 different songs, then those 2 rights holders would get 50% of the revenue, and you would get
Okay,
0.
got it.
You would get 0 because YouTube kind of, I guess, favors music and music copyright claims in that regard. So like I said, that's one option is the rights holder could copyright claim it and they take all the revenue, but they allow you to keep the video up on your channel. The second option is to do a takedown, which would
Hmm.
actually take down the video. That actually results in a copyright strike. And if you get 3 copyright strikes on your YouTube channel, it would actually shut down your YouTube channel.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that
Third option
three
is
three trucks. Three
Yeah,
trucks.
like
like baseball, 3 strikes and you're out.
yeah.
No, three trucks with background music and you'll be out, Meghnad. That's it.
Exactly.
Well,
Like, so three trucks passing by with three musics, and then like I'm just gone. So yeah.
well, if the owner of the song wants to give you a strike, because the other option, like I said, is they could just do a claim,
Claim.
and then they would just receive the money. And then
Hmm.
there's actually a third option, which is track, which
Hmm.
means they just get the data like associated with who's watching and that stuff, but no one gets the money, including yourself. And then the fourth option is a block policy. So they can actually specify, okay, in India it's blocked, in Korea it's okay. And so
Right.
then viewers,
Hmm.
and that's because sometimes when it comes to, let's say, songs or movies or TV shows, you do want to block it in certain territories and things like that.
I used to work with this basically news platform called News Laundry,
Mhm.
and News Laundry did not take any ads. That was their spiel, that we will get subscriber money, and
Mhm.
therefore we will not take any ads. So they didn't take any ads on YouTube on principle. Now,
Yep.
what happened is some of the shows
Right.
ended up making fun of news channels, right? So they used clips of what is happening on Indian news channels, and like they would take like a 20-second section, 30-second section, and do commentary on it.
Mhm.
There have been many times, and it has happened to a few of my videos, where I was just showing random, like, instances of just like 3 seconds, 5 seconds, 10 seconds of whatever. we had no ads, and then the people would claim it and then enable ads on the video. So
Yes,
all the that's bizarre to me, because uh like, is that allowed? Like, I mean,
it's
I
allowed.
said that no ads on my video because I don't want any ads, but then someone else can enable ads on my video.
How can
Yeah,
someone else
because
enable that?
they
Yeah,
enable ads because they put a copyright claim onto your video
yeah.
because your video uses their song or their video. So they have the right to enable monetization or enable ads, basically.
Interesting. Okay, so tell me something. So like, if say, let's say, Govind goes viral, you said,
Mhm.
Govind goes, so one of his clips say go viral on YouTube. So it's
Uh-huh.
up to Govind to figure out whether to put the claim or not.
He couldn't do it. You couldn't do it by yourself. You would work with a company like ours who would do
Yeah.
it on your behalf.
Okay.
So if someone else just puts out my clip and like reacts to it or something, I can earn
And
off that.
yeah, you can earn off of that because they're using your video
Oh
without
shit.
your permission.
Whoa. Okay,
Okay,
that's
I didn't.
nice.
Yeah, that's nice. That makes sense. Now that's
Yeah. So tell me, Eugene, how would you do this then? Like, so Govind comes to you saying that, listen, I'm putting out all this content on YouTube. What do you do next?
Yep. So, we've been doing this a lot lately in the last, year and a half with TikTokers, right? Because
Hmm.
TikTok is obviously a very popular format. And actually, when these TikTok videos go viral, oftentimes they go viral on YouTube, right? And we did this in India, actually. We all know that TikTok was banned in India, but the popularity of TikTok videos didn't go away. It actually just migrated to YouTube. So,
Hmm.
if we were to, let's say, work with Govind and you have a lot of videos, let's say from TikTok, right? We would then download your videos one by one, and then we would upload them one by one onto YouTube. And then we have our own system for naming the file and the metadata, etc. So it might be like Govind TikTok 1, Govind TikTok 2, or maybe we, instead of 1, 2, 3, it's like the date. Whatever the case may be, we we register those videos and register those assets onto the YouTube system. And then if someone,
Okay.
let's say, were to react to and use Govind video 3, and then we catch it, we would copyright claim it, and then we would receive the money from YouTube, take our cut, and then give the rest to Govind according to our contract.
Oh, that's very interesting.
Mhm.
Uh, I really like this system. So essentially, what you're doing is you are
You just hated the
protecting.
system. When the trucks
Uh,
were going by, you hated the system, and now you like the system.
I mean, now I'm thinking, how can I earn from this? So I'm like,
yeah,
now
yeah.
I'm on the other.
As long as we are the ones earning the money, it's fine.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, now,
Uh,
so that's the thing, like with YouTube, especially with streaming on YouTube. I think Twitch is different, but with streaming on YouTube, it's very difficult to do these reaction videos or use any kind of music or anything because of what you just described, which is claiming. So everyone has to be super careful about, what sort of clip they're using or what they're using.
yeah,
um
yeah, yeah.
I remember the first copyright claim I got was on the first stream I ever did. Was because I was opening up my channel and I wanted it to be like this grand entrance. No clue about copyright and how streaming works or anything. And I was going to stream the Indian Parliament and react to it. Okay. And I was like, oh, so people are coming. There were some people waiting, like 20 people waiting. So I started playing this very popular Punjabi song by Daler Mehndi called Tunak Tunak Dhun. Okay. And it's an international hit. Like people dance to it, react to it, whatever. So again, I was like, if other people are doing it, why shouldn't I do it? And I did it. And in like 10 minutes, my stream was off. It's like gone. It's like you use Daler Mehndi, so you're gone. But why?
So
I
you
don't
have two
understand.
strikes. Do you have two
I
strikes
had two
then?
strikes. I made a new channel. I have started fresh. Now I have just one strike.
So again, to be honest, I'm not as familiar with how this plays out on live stream
Yeah,
with
yeah,
YouTube. We mostly do it on videos that are just uploaded, and
yeah, yeah.
typically we don't. we don't do takedowns. We don't
Hmm.
give strikes. We typically will claim a video
Hmm.
and then earn money, because if you do a takedown, it doesn't earn money. Now,
Yeah.
the exception is a recent case. I don't know if I'm able to talk about it, but I will.
Hmm.
There is a YouTuber in Korea named DKU, um, and he had a boxing match with Manny Pacquiao about, in December, I think it was. And he had all this footage from that event, which he set up, and of course he had the rights for. And then a lot of people took that video and re-uploaded it. So he asked us to take down those videos because, part of the reason why he even did this event with Manny Pacquiao is to get more views to his YouTube
Understood.
channel, right? And he
Hmm.
did spend a lot of time and a lot of money to make this happen. And of course, because he had the rights, well, he had the YouTube rights because it was his event. He wanted that all the video content related to that fight to appear on his channel, not on other people's channels, because
Right.
if he just allowed it to stay up on the other people's channels, then the views get split and are all over the place. But he wanted the views on his channel, so he was well within the right, because um, people were re-uploading the videos. They were literally downloading it and then re-uploading onto their channel without his permission, right?
Right.
So yeah, that's like one recent example. And actually, as a result of that, some people were like sad or mad that we did a takedown, and then they
Hmm.
like, it said Collab Asia did it, and then they Googled and they found out I was the CEO, and then they started like sending me messages on LinkedIn and Instagram, and I have pictures of me and my baby on Instagram, and meanwhile people are like, "Hey, why'd you give me a copyright strike?" And
Oh wow.
it was it was a little much, but anyway, yeah. So that's like a recent example.
Hmm. So you turned out to be the bad guy in this case for some reason, but actually you were doing a legitimate thing.
Yeah. Well, we are not the bad guy. We're doing what our creator and client DKU asked us to
Precisely.
do,
Precisely.
and
You're
he
protecting
had every right.
intellectual property.
Yeah, I mean, a better example, I guess, would be music, right? So let's
Right.
say, you're a musician, and you create a song. It takes you days and weeks to write the song. It takes you weeks and months to practice, and then you create it. And let's say you even make a music video. You pay all this money to get a music video, and you get actors and you shoot it. And let's say you upload it onto YouTube. But if like all these other people just copied the video and put it on their channel, and then they take the money, then as a musician, I mean, like, that's not really fair, right? And that's
Hmm.
obviously your song. So whether it's a song or it's a YouTube video or a video of a boxing match, I mean, it's all the same thing. Those are all um, video content and intellectual
Hmm.
property, and those rights belong to the person who created that piece of content. And that's what we help manage and help protect those rights, and we do it
Hmm.
on digital platforms, hence digital rights management. Yeah.
Right.
So I've seen a
Govind,
lot of,
you had a question.
sorry,
Yeah, go on, go on. Go
no,
on, go on.
I've just seen a lot of videos on YouTube where like there's a music video, but it's not from the artist. Someone else has uploaded it, and a lot of them have millions of views. So does the original artist get the money for that? That because then it's great. Then I'll watch the video because I used to not watch those videos because I used to be like, hey, this is not right. The artist hasn't
Yeah.
uploaded this, but
Yeah, I mean, typically the record labels will, that's a big part of what they do, and that's what we also do, is on behalf of artists and musicians and our other, creators, we will, you know, claim and try to collect the money.
great. I mean, now I can watch that without guilt. Great. I just
Yeah.
wanted that.
Uh, I want to take a break here, but after we come back, we are going to dissect Govind's life a little bit and figure out whether he will earn some money from his digital rights management. But I also want to tell you about this very fascinating character called Bhuban Badyankar, which we will come back after the break. Um, But before we go into break, some programming announcements. This is You're listening to this on the All About Now feed. Please do like, share, subscribe, do the usual YouTube things that you do, so that we get some money. Yeah, we get some views and money and whatever. So, and also, if you are listening to this on audio, please do consider leaving a review. On this very feed, you will get two other shows, which is Page 10, which is hosted by Abbas Momin. We do a
Yes.
current affairs wrap every week. And soon we are going to launch How to Citizen Season 2, which will be on your feed very soon. Hopefully, by the time this episode releases, the first episode will have already gone out. But I don't know these things. I don't run this channel. Someone like Eugene does, but not Eugene. Anyway, see you after the break.
Hello. It's been another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. We are back with the second season of How to Citizen, hosted by Meghnad and Shreyas. The first episode of second season drops on February 26th. And guess who is our guest? Omar Abdullah, former Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir. So catch the episode now on the All About Now feed on IVM, YouTube and all streaming platforms. On Page 10, myself, Nikhil, Meghnad and lead editor of International Initiative at Your Story, Sindhu Kashyap, discuss income tax raid at the BBC offices, GCC countries investing in startups and more. New episodes are out on the All About Now feed. On Think Fast, Varun and Suchita discuss women's IPL auction, Air India's purchasing Boeing planes and a series of other interesting things. On Varta Lab, joining Naveen and Akash is singer and songwriter Nush Lewis. They talk about her music career and what it takes to create great music. And on Postcards from Nowhere, Utsav uncovers the history of the most beloved flowers known to mankind. Once again, don't forget to visit our merch store on the ivmpodcast.com website. We have some exciting stuff for you. Follow us on social media. We are IVM Podcasts on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram and LinkedIn. If you like our shows, spread the word, tell your friends and don't forget to rate and review them wherever you're listening to them. You'll also find all our shows on youtube.com/IVM Podcasts. And finally, we would like to thank our sponsors this week, Yono SBI, Capgemini, and HDFC Mutual Fund. Thank you for making this possible.
Hello and welcome back to Explain Like I'm 10, where we are asking what is digital rights management, and we are dissecting Govind's life as we go along. I was before the break. I was going to tell you about this character called Bhuban Badyankar. Do you know this person, Govind? Do you have any recollection?
I have no clue.
So,
Bhuvan
being an
Badyankar.
Badyankar, right? So, do you remember the Kacha Badam song?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Eugene, so just to give you context, there was this song like a few months ago called Kacha Badam, which went viral on Instagram. Now, everybody was making reels out of it, where they like the whole dance routine, like doing the same thing again and again, sort of a thing, right? Now, turns out this song was done by this very poor peanut seller in West Bengal called Bhuvan Badyankar. It's his original work. He sings it while he basically takes like garbage from people and sells peanuts to them, and he had no clue he was going viral on the internet, because some popular YouTuber picked up this song, recorded it, turned it into like a very catchy beat. He added a catchy beat behind it, and then sort of it exploded on Instagram, on YouTube, everywhere. Once he found out, once someone told him that, listen boss, your original work is actually being used by literally everyone in the world now, he freaked out. B, he was like, what do I do next? I mean, he didn't understand how digital world works, anything, but he has this song now. So turns out a lot of other people sort of helped him get some recognition for it. Didn't get the rights though. So West Bengal government felicitated him. They gave him some money. The DJ who used his thing also like spoke to him and gave him some money. But I don't think he still got the rights. He got a new album, but no rights. Yeah, as far as I read, he still didn't get the rights from that, or the revenue, as you are saying, Eugene. So in this case, can someone like you help?
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
what we would have done is with that original person, we would probably sign an agreement saying, "Hey, we will help you earn money from YouTube for your work."
Mm.
This case is a little bit tricky because actually you're saying that the song that went viral wasn't the original his recording.
Yeah.
It was a DJ who recorded it, and then the
Yeah.
DJ remixed it. So
Yes.
actually,
Yes.
that DJ also, to a certain degree, might be entitled to some share of the revenue. Actually, because he recorded it, technically, I think that video would be his, but you're supposed to get permission if you record someone, right? And
Hmm.
so what would end up happening is, whether we work with the DJ and or the original person who sang the song, we would probably work out an agreement between the two, and we just say, hey, both kind of played a hand in making this go viral and making this happen. Let's just do a rev share agreement. And then we would take that song, we would register it, give it an ISRC code, which is an international sound recording code. And then we would create an asset and upload onto YouTube. And then we would start, copyright claiming videos on YouTube that contain that song.
Interesting. So in this case, you're saying that you would be the one to sort of create a copyright claim for him, but the copyright for him essentially.
We
But
could
but
do
is
it.
this
A record label
specifically
could do
on
it.
YouTube?
I mean, technically, you could do it on any platform, but YouTube is really the one that you can earn the most money
Hmm.
on because they have a rev share program. Although, like Facebook and Instagram are also preparing that, and I heard TikTok is as well. And then also, just when a video goes viral, it ends up oftentimes going viral on YouTube, right?
So I wanted to ask about that. What happens to meme content? What happens to viral videos essentially? Like Govind say like does a video and then people start turning it into a meme and just interpreting it and doing their own things. Can
Yep.
Govind then basically put in a
The
claim?
memes are usually like a 3 or 4 second thing, right? Like, is
Also
that what you?
that, right? But
So
also like I mean I was thinking of it, so sorry Eugene, I was just thinking of it like when I talk about memes, right?
Yeah.
Let's say like there is a scene from a movie, like a 5-second line from a movie that, let's say, I use to react to something, and then that turns into a meme. Can the movie maker make copyright claims on that as well?
yeah, so now we're starting to talk about a gray area called fair use copyright law.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that law is different every country. And then, obviously YouTube is global. So kind of how that plays out is different in every country, right? So fair use is basically, I'm more describing how it is treated in America, but fair use copyright law gives people the right to use someone else's song or music or video without permission, um, if it's for the purposes of commentary, parody, um, things like that, right? So like news
Hmm.
programs, if you're reporting the news, there's an anchor and you're commenting on what's happening, you don't need to get permission to use some of these videos, although increasingly there are people who still want to get a licensing
Hmm.
fee for that, right? um, and it's tricky, right? Because like I said, the law is different in every country, and then also how that is enforced and how it plays out on places like YouTube is also different, right? So the way we see it is, it's almost like a case by case basis, right? But the way we see it is when people are using our creators' content without permission and they're making money. I mean, sometimes they will say, well, it's fair use. I am
Hmm.
using your video in order to make commentary or whatever on it, right? Well, my personal view, and again, it's kind of case by case, but you might say you could use it, but that fair, but by citing fair use law, but that doesn't necessarily give you the right to monetize from it, right? That's my argument.
Ah,
So
okay.
with Govind's case, let's say you had a video, and someone, stole your video and re-uploaded it and then made commentary on it or whatever, right? And let's say that went viral, right? But your original
Yeah.
video didn't go viral. You didn't make any money. And then that other person used your song or used your video, and then that went viral, and that other person made a lot of money. To me, that doesn't really seem fair either, right? Because
Hmm.
that person wouldn't have had that new derivative work without your original work, right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, I think it's okay for, depending on the situation, it's okay for someone else to maybe use your video without permission if they're going to comment on it or react to it or whatever. But I don't think that necessarily means that they have the right to take all the money and keep all the money, right?
Hmm.
Hmm. Govind, you were saying something? Sorry.
No. My mic kind of got
Oh, okay. Okay.
messed up in the middle. That's it.
There is another case, very interesting case, which I think. So
Sorry.
since we are
Before that,
talking, yeah.
the Kacha Badam one was it Badshah's song? Was it?
Uh,
I just vaguely
I
remember this song. I don't really.
Yeah, so it was a no, it was not Badshah. It was some other YouTuber DJ
Really?
person who remixed it first. Then I think Badshah and all came later. I think there were like, because it went viral, other music
Hmm.
artists also came in and started, trying to use it, etc. So it's very fascinating. This case actually is also because for a country like India, where we have hawkers who actually have a lot of original work, they like the way they actually hawk their products is actually original work, right?
Original
They
work.
Yeah. And to copyright that is, I mean, that would be next level, I would say. It's very difficult to do that as well. But
Yeah.
there's this another case, Govind. There is this notorious music label, cannot name them for obvious reasons, who are very, they use the legal might to their fullest extent, let's put it that way. um there was this ad, again for a brand I will not name, which was done, and there was literally a 3-second clip playing in the background on radio in the ad, right? So the music label filed a case on that brand, saying that you have violated our copyrights,
Mhm.
and in Indian courts, and that was like one of the biggest cases in India of copyright violation, because I mean the court eventually ruled that this is fair use, because a 3-second song on a radio is just to establish environment, etc. But it was close. uh,
Mm.
and this was before YouTube, right? This was before
Mhm.
YouTube. Now with YouTube coming in, that has gone to like another level, I feel like, which is it happened with us, like with News Laundry, right? Where we were using that news clips, and then a court case was filed against us. I have a defamation case against me, and a copyright case against me. So they claimed that you're using our material, and you are earning money from it, but
Yep.
actually we weren't. And we were doing news commentary, as you said, fair use. So that is the argument that we made in court. So that case
Mhm.
is still going on. I don't know what happens to it. Does that how it works in Korea also? Because from what my understanding, and we spoke about this before the recording started, your laws are way more advanced when it comes to protecting digital rights. How is it different? Can you give us an insight?
Yeah, actually, I'm not as familiar with how the laws work in Korea. I'm actually, probably most familiar with how it works in America. And
Okay.
again, I would say on a place like YouTube, it's almost like its own country, right? YouTube is its
Yeah.
own place where there's actually really no specific laws. And even YouTube, they don't want to get in the middle of every copyright dispute. They just
Hmm.
provide the tools to allow copyright holders and owners to enforce copyright, right? So in the case that you described, where somebody used the song for 3 seconds in a commercial, I would argue that that's not cool, because that commercial is for commercial use. You're using it to make money. You're using it to, so imagine if you're a celebrity and then they used your soundbite to sell like a alcohol, like a beer.
Hmm.
And then let's say that celebrity is like doesn't drink and is against alcohol or whatever. Like that's not fair that he was used used to kind of sell a product or something, right? So if it's for commercial use, that also, I believe, and I'm not a lawyer, then fair use would not apply there, because
Right.
fair use and commentary, etc. But this is, if it was for an advertisement or a commercial, then that is specific. That is very much for commercial use. I will say also with YouTube, they have their own policies where I don't know how much of this I'm supposed to share, but they will not allow us to make copyright claims if someone uses something for less than 10 seconds. So if we are talking and then there's a car or truck in the background and it's playing a loud radio and we're stopped at a red light and then it goes, that's kind of inadvertent use, right?
Yeah.
So then
Like like on my live stream,
Exactly.
when the truck was passing and music was playing, I didn't control that. That just happened. I
No,
had no
but
control over it.
10 seconds.
Yeah.
the 10-second thing is true, right? Because with stand-up videos, like a lot of us, I mean, that's what people tell each other, that like, so when we put out a stand-up video, we put a song in the beginning and a song in the end, just as an intro and an outro. So I mean, I have used songs that I like, but like I didn't ask the artist. I didn't know. But I think people told me that if you use lesser than 10 seconds, they don't do anything to you. And they didn't. I have a video where I put this artist I like, but like 5 seconds, that's it, like in the
Yeah.
beginning, and in the end 3 or 4 seconds in the end. Nothing.
It's
I haven't
actually
gotten a copyright claim.
It's actually, I believe, 10 seconds in total. So if you use the
Yeah.
same song and you use 6 seconds in the beginning, 6 seconds at the end, then they could still claim you. I think what it is if you use less than 10 seconds, basically that record label or whoever owns the rights to that song, it's just not worth their time to come after you, to be honest. They
Yeah.
could still do a takedown, even because you used their work without permission, but it's just not worth their time.
I
Like,
mean, I
would
couldn't
you?
get permission from those artists. They're big. I can't just email them, and I thought I could just use it.
You
I was
could.
actually coming to that as well. That's exactly what I was coming to, Govind. What he said. So I know you're from that side where you're essentially helping people make copyrights and also claim the revenue that you get from it. But for someone like Govind or someone like me, right? If we really want to use someone's work with their permission, it's
Yep.
very difficult for us to do it anyway. Like, so what is the option there? Like, can we like negotiate before you file a
Yeah.
claim, or can you like then give us permission, like we can politely ask you after you file a claim, is like, please let us use this for this one video and we will not ever do it again? How does that work? Does that ever happen?
Yeah. I mean, we do that as well, right? Sometimes we are protecting our creators' copyrights, but we're also helping our creators navigate this very complicated digital landscape with which doesn't have clear-cut rules, right? So there's a couple options there. Yeah, we could advise on ways of helping you avoid those copyright issues, and one option is to try to get prior permission. The second option is we also work with companies like Epidemic Sound. So they have a music library, and all of those copyrights are cleared. So we actually pay a monthly fee, and it's not cheap. We do, pay. They keep raising the rates on us, but then we, I forget how many songs are in that library. Maybe like 20,000 songs or whatever. We give that to make it available to our creators, people like you guys, who could then use any of those songs as much as you want on your show without any issues, because we've already cleared the copyright, the use for it on YouTube.
Oh.
And so that's also an option. And YouTube now pretty soon is going to release a new feature called Creator Library. So for example, you talk about the intro and the outro, right? Let's say you wanted to do this on all your videos, and let's say you wanted to use I don't know, a Justin Bieber song, right? YouTube is going to have something where you could pay like $5 and then you could use that song in your video.
That is, I think, a good
that
idea.
works. Yeah.
That works. Yeah, that works. But also, like, Eugene, tell me. So, Govind, have you noticed this? So on Instagram, you can put like a song in the background, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you are making a reel.
Yeah.
But on YouTube, the rule is a little different, right? I
Very
mean,
different.
I don't understand how this one works.
Yeah. Great question. So the key difference between YouTube and Instagram is how they deal with music copyrights and how they deal with the major record labels. So
Hmm.
it also is related to the fact that YouTube, I keep saying, is probably the best platform for monetizing content at scale, where you're essentially getting revenue share on every view. You're earning money on every view that you get on YouTube. The reason why you don't get that on Instagram is because Instagram's system, they don't have a way of tracking what songs and what other pieces of content are being used in your videos, right? So what they did is they just worked out a deal with the record labels. And so on an annual
Oh.
basis, they just pay a flat licensing fee to Warner Music, Sony Music, Universal Music, and say, hey, let us just use your entire catalog. We'll give you $100 million this year, and just let our users just use all the songs as much as you want, right? That's how
Hmm.
they do it. They do a flat licensing fee, and because of that, that's also why it's harder for them to share revenue on a per view basis like YouTube does.
Yeah. But so YouTube doesn't have these record partnerships, like label partnerships.
No, what they do is they allow the record labels to actually get revenue share based on every per use basis. And also they give them the rights to like do takedowns and do whatever, right? So they built those tools. But
Hmm.
Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, they haven't built those tools, but well, they have to a certain degree, but they just haven't it's not at the scale that YouTube has it at.
So if like I or Govind use like a track, like a whatever track on YouTube, which is already available in their library, let's say, and I put out a short with that music in the background. Now, does that revenue share get split between the two of us, the label and us, or does it completely go to the label?
It depends on which song you're using. Because every
Oh,
song,
that's complicated.
yeah, because the owner of the song determines how that ends up being used.
Uh,
Mm.
so it becomes a trial and error process for us then, creators, right? Is that how it works?
So YouTube does have like a royalty-free music library where you could use any of those songs for free,
Yeah.
but they're
Hmm.
not like popular pop songs.
Hmm.
And yeah, you wouldn't. And actually, for covers, if you were to do a song cover, um, some of the songs are available where YouTube will allow you to split the revenue with the record label. Um, and then, like I said, there's a new feature coming out called Creator Library where you could pay $5 up front and then use the song, anywhere between $1 to $5 up front, and then you could use that song in your video, and then you could just keep all the money. But then that $5 or whatever it is does go to the record label.
I really like that. I
I
like
really like
that
that
process.
feature. It'll be.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't
It'll be
have to
great.
keep it under 10 seconds anymore so that they don't catch me.
Yeah.
Now I can just use the song.
But I
Yeah. I
think,
mean,
you have to
Hmm.
pay every time for every video you use the song. So it's not you pay once and then you can use it as the intro and outro to all your videos. It's for
No,
every
no, no,
video.
no. Like per video. It
Yeah.
still makes
per
sense.
video. Yeah. It makes sense also because I think like if something that Govind does and it earns way more than what he spent on the song, then it's like he's getting money anyway. Like he's making a profit there
Well,
anyway.
actually, so if Govind pays, let's say $5 to use a song as an intro and outro to his video, but let's say that
Right.
video goes viral, right? Then when it goes viral, even though you keep 100% of the revenue of that original video on your channel, but if we were to copyright claim other people using that video, the record label could also make a copyright claim, because that, yeah, maybe this is
Oh.
getting too complicated, but then it only covers the original use, but then
Okay.
it doesn't cover it.
The
The
rest of
no
it.
uses.
Other people using it, right?
But we
Fair
could
enough.
still
That's
we
fair.
could still
That's
make a
fair.
claim, though. We could still make a claim on your behalf. You just wouldn't get
Right.
100% of the revenue.
Right. Right. Got it. Got it. Govind, any final questions before we end this?
No, but the 10-second thing really helped me because that's just because comedians have been telling me that, oh, I think they don't, no one's sure. No one was sure.
Hmm.
I've never gotten confirmation on that. So that's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
And any insights that you got from this other than this that you would like to share with us?
Rather than the 10-second thing, now that I
Other
can.
than the 10-second thing?
No, I didn't know half of this, by the way, just saying. So it
Yeah.
works, explain like I'm 10. If you look at my face, half the time I'm trying to hide the fact that I didn't understand some of it.
No, but
So,
this is why I thought you would be a great person to do this with, because so Eugene, just to give you context, me and Govind have been talking about this on and off, right? Which is like whenever we meet, he talks about how his artist management is done and how he's doing on Instagram, etc.
so the
So I
thing is,
thought,
sorry. Yeah.
yeah.
No, go ahead.
No, I said, so I thought that it would be a good thing to have you and Gobind together to just have a conversation around this, which will help us, both of us, understand what is happening. Yeah, Govind, you
The
were
thing
saying?
is, most of the things I know is like just through Instagram. I know things that happen on Instagram. YouTube has just I had given up. So this is great to know what
Yeah,
happens on YouTube. Instagram is very different from YouTube. Is all like it's
yeah.
entirely different the way you put out short content and like you
No,
kind of
now
know it.
I'm also more encouraged to put out shorts on YouTube after this conversation, actually, now that I'm hearing it, because I feel like what Eugene, you ended up doing for me at least, is that I always knew Instagram's short form video model is kind of broken, and I kind of don't get any returns from it, because I mean, other than followers, I'm getting nothing else. Like, this earn thing doesn't make sense to me. It's not activated, whatever. I don't get brand deals because of my past as a journalist, a very
Mhm.
toxic background, so nobody wants to touch me. But with YouTube, though, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't have to care about any of this, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that's another thing with Instagram. I think at least in India on Instagram, some of the brands are like the videos don't come out as I want them to. Like if
Yeah,
I'm doing a brand video, because a lot of brands really force their products into the video, and it's tough to make it look organic and make it look funny. But if on YouTube Shorts, I can just put out videos and somehow get money other than just being like, hey, why don't you buy? It's very weird if you've seen brand videos here. It's like a joke, and then suddenly someone's like, hey, why don't you just buy this? It just breaks the whole
yeah,
rhythm of it. So
yeah.
people don't really like watching it on Instagram as well. My followers don't.
Yeah,
They really.
I know this. Like, I get very offended for some reason whenever a creator sells me something, and I don't know why. It's just instinctive,
I,
I guess. But that happens. Eugene, so one final question. If you can tell our listeners and viewers this. Now YouTube has YouTube Premium,
Yep.
right? So YouTube Premium essentially lets me bypass all the ads.
Yep.
And I use YouTube Premium. I practically use Premium everywhere I can because I don't want to see any ads.
Yep.
So how does that work? Like, so if I'm watching someone's video, like Govind's video, is he still making money? Because I'm not seeing any ads.
Yep. In the end, he'll probably end up making more money than from you than if you're a premium subscriber
Yeah.
than if you weren't. He would make more money
Really?
from premium than he does ads. And I'll use this example. So if let's say you pay, I don't know, $10 for YouTube Premium
Hmm.
in
Hmm.
February, okay? And
Right.
let's say in February you only watched Govind's videos for the month of February, right? So
Hmm.
out of that $10, YouTube takes, I think YouTube takes 45%. So out of the remaining $5.50, all $5.50 would go to Govind because that's all you watched in February.
Oh.
oh,
YouTube tracks what you, but let's say you watched 10 different videos from 10
Yeah.
different creators. well, then that $5.50 would get split 10 different ways.
But it's still more than the ad rates.
It's more than the ad rates because the ad rate ends up being roughly, let's say, I don't know, let's say it's a 20 cent RPM. So that's 20 cents for 1,000 views. So then that would be, so per view, unless you watch, so even if you watched Govind's videos 1,000 times, then he would get 20 cents.
20 cents, yeah. But if I watch it only once and I'm a premium user, even if it's split between 10 videos, he's still making like say
He's still
10
making-
cents, 20 cents from one.
Not 20 cents. He would get, if you watched only 10 videos in the month of February, then each view, regardless of what you watched, would get 10% of the $5.50.
Oh, that's interesting.
Wow.
Oh,
I've always thought about this.
Yeah.
How
I thought
people are paying money.
actually, yeah, now that makes sense. Wow. Okay. Convinced, Eugene. Thank you so much for doing this with us. I think yeah, a lot of questions I had about YouTube actually got solved today. Thank you for doing this. And anything else that you would like to tell people? Any resources that you would like to share that people can find out more about digital rights management and what you do and how they can aid from this?
Yeah,
Benefit from this?
Yeah, I mean, we have the Collab Asia page is pretty much set up on every major platform. I think we're probably, if you're more interested on the DRM and more of the business activities we do, I think LinkedIn is where we probably have a lot more resources and information. We've written articles in the past about how DRM works on YouTube and things like that. So yeah, feel free to kind of follow us on any of our social media platforms and on, LinkedIn, etc. And as I mentioned at the beginning of this, yeah, we are currently also in the midst of exploring ways of how can we also expand into the Indian market, right? And even places like Pakistan, because not only of the huge population sizes, but actually India is probably I think it is the number one market for YouTube viewership in the world, right? It's obviously a combination of the population size, but it's also just how much content is being consumed, right? So we are really interested in expanding in India. So we would love to talk to companies and explore partnerships with people.
Nice. Govind, do you have anything to plug?
Yeah, just my Instagram page.
After all of this, you're still like, oh, mera Instagram dekho.
I mean, once I start my YouTube channel, then you can follow me on YouTube. Right now, there's nothing to watch. There are 2 stand-up videos, 3, and some random shorts I've put, which didn't get views. So I don't want to
keep doing those shorts. I think now's a good time.
Yeah. Now
so what we'll do is we will link Govind's YouTube channel and the title of this video and my YouTube channel. Now I am going to try this. Eugene, I had stopped posting reels on Instagram because again I'm not getting anything practically. I'll try on shorts now. Why not? Let's see what happens. That might be a fun experiment to do and see if I actually earn something.
Sorry, can I ask one last question though?
Yeah, go on.
So sometimes I just download my reels, save it, and then put it up as YouTube shorts. And I think there usually is a watermark of Instagram, like there's some thumbnail of Instagram. So does that affect views?
So great question. I think on YouTube, they don't really care so much about the watermark, but you never know. Facebook for sure cares about the watermark. So Facebook, they don't like it if you have a TikTok watermark on your reel.
Yeah, they were very vocal about that. So I thought YouTube also has something along those lines.
Right. I see a lot of TikTok videos on YouTube actually, like shorts. Like there is the watermark, TikTok watermark on the top.
Yeah.
I do see that. Interesting. But just to give you a solution, Govind, use a editing software outside Instagram and
Outside.
you're sorted for both platforms. So that's great.
True, true. I just wanted to know.
Yeah. But thank you so much, Govind. Thank you so much, Eugene, for doing this.
Thank you.
And to everyone who is listening, you can follow me on Meghnad on Twitter. You can follow my YouTube, which is linked here on top. The title will have my YouTube now. I'm going to plug my YouTube everywhere. It's Meghnad, Meghnerd, where you will see me more active, hopefully. Fingers crossed. I will see you next week. Thank you so much for listening. Bye.